Hi, Karina here, your Lucid Living coach. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm a healing arts astrologer, and I'm here to give you the full moon in Libra energy report. Now, this is kind of funny. Yesterday, I recorded this video, and I was looking for the file everywhere. I was probably looking for an hour, and then I found out that I never pressed record. So I definitely am recording this time. And yeah, so let's get right into it. So we have this full moon at 23 degrees of Libra happening this Saturday, April 12th at 5:22 p.m. This is quite a revealing and healing and somewhat intense full moon, as this is the full moon that has not been an eclipse for quite some time. We had what did we have? We had the Libra solar eclipse in October of last year. And then we had a full moon similar to this, but it was only 5 degrees, which was March of last year. And so now we're back around to this April full moon eclipse. Full moon in Libra that is not an eclipse. So there is more stability in this full moon. Kind of like the other ones were shifting and changing a lot, and it was hard to make a decision based around our relationships and our money and our jobs and our careers, kind of thing. Like Libra is about balance and harmony and mutuality. It's governs our relationships as far as contractual relationships like marriage and business partnerships. So there's a lot of these things that are happening that is highlighting and coming to a culmination. It doesn't have to be an ending of a relationship, but it could be an ending of a cycle of relationship. Let's say relationship cycles or habits or the kind of person that you would usually be with or go for is changing. And this is nuts because this full moon is ruled by Venus. Let me share my screen here. And Venus is retrograde, right? It's red right here, retrograde. And it will turn direct like right after this full moon. So this is definitely telling us something about maybe the things that we have been thinking about since Venus went retrograde on March 1st. We have been reassessing and relooking at our relationships and our money matters. And so I think things are starting to become clearer, and it's only going to get more clear going forward. We had Mercury retrograde and Venus retrograde, and we have the destiny point and Saturn and Mercury all kind of in the same area, and we have this brand new 14-year cycle of Neptune being in Aries, and Venus retrogrades every 12 months. And the last time that Venus was in this area of the sky was back in 2017, spring of 2017 and 2009. Can you recall what your relationships or your money matters look like then? Maybe the type of person that you were with, or the kind of energy that you had to go through and what you learned of that, and maybe applying it into your relationships and your career going forward. Now, this full moon, without the eclipse, is kind of like our final decision. We learned from the past relationships and partnerships, giving us idea of what we want going forward. And Venus is the ruler of this full moon, and it is now turning direct on the day of this full moon, and it will it usually takes a couple weeks to leave shadow into new territory where we start really feeling the momentum moving forward in the area of the sky in which the 23 degrees of Libra is, as well as Pisces. So look at 24 degrees of Pisces through Aries, because I know Venus was in Aries March 1st. Yeah, about 10 degrees. So once it moves to 11 degrees of Aries is when we'll start stepping into the new territory. So this cycle is of completions and laying to rest the past and committing to the future. No more wavering. This is okay, I think I understand this mission. Now the sun is conjunct Chiron right over here at 23 degrees. It's sharing the same degree point. So it's really blending its energies with the wounded healer, identity, and self-worth. So we could feel some wounding around being seen for who we are. And sometimes this could be a painful experience that maybe was experienced in childhood of rejection or inadequacy. And this transit asks us to embrace our unique identity and expressing our vulnerability, which can also inspire others, reflecting its ego desires to move forward in relationships. And sometimes we need to heal the ego and let it quiet down before making an effort to bridge the gap between you and others. Giving in can even mean gaining a lot more than you set out to get. Now, acceptance is one of the most generous gifts that you can give yourself and others. There's more that we could share with the universe than arguments and comparisons. So focus on what you share with the environment, because there's so much more to explore and connect with each other than to find opposition, isolation, and argument. This is the energy of practicing humility by apologizing and making things right when things have gone awry, even if it wasn't your fault. This is also the energy of dedicating yourself to your craft. Start a practice and repeat a task for a short period of time each day and watch yourself improve. This is about chasing it's not about chasing perfection. The unexpected and for the miracles of mistakes, everything is always flawless and imperfect. The mistakes often leave room for something magical, rendering it magnificent and valuable. Maybe I'll practice saying magnificent a couple times a day till I figure it out. Now, this is a time when we can lighten up a bit, but stay on task. If the task feels overwhelming or difficult, apply yourself one step at a time and focus on the long-term vision and fully commit to its completion. Let the stages reveal itself to you and let it unfold to you on its own timing. Now, this full moon is quincunx over to Venus and over to Uranus, making this full moon the apex of these aspects. Now, Venus is retrograde and it's in Pisces, and this is something that needs adjusting as our emotions, like our emotional needs and how we are receiving the love, or are like out of balance, because the quincunxes, they don't really have much in common energetically. And so it's like you have to work extra hard to try to find the commonality, or to find that, okay, how can we move forward even though that we might not be on the same page, or we might not be seeing the same thing. or our like our emotional needs of harmony. This is the full moon, mutuality and balanced love. In our love and relationships are unclear and lacking boundaries. We want to make sure to be assessing our boundaries, hearing what our emotional needs are, and try to fulfill them and communicate them without sacrificing our true feelings. We want to make sure to balance our needs with the needs of others. And it's okay to ask for what we want. It's okay to clearly communicate what we need, as well as expressing our emotional boundaries and how to communicate our needs more directly. Now, the full moon is quincunx Saturn as well, because it's sitting over here in the same area. And Pisces, so this is having fairness within our emotional needs between relationships, and also building discipline and structure within the face of the emotional and spiritual fogginess. So slow down before making any emotional decisions, checking in, making sure that you aren't doing things in the cost of your own peace. So set soft but firm boundaries within your connections, and it's a good time to reflect through meditation, art, and journaling. You could put on your scarf as well. It won't hurt you. The moon in Libra is squaring over to Mars in Cancer, as you can see right here. And this is about, like, they're not really seeing eye to eye. They're experiencing some tension, and the moon in Libra wants to talk, okay, and keep things smooth, especially in our relationships or our family dynamics. And then that Mars in Cancer is feeling irritated with yourself, with ourselves, not knowing what maybe the other wants, because someone could be being a little too harmonious and like that Venusian energy that's not speaking up. But then, like, the Mars in Cancer is feeling something underlying the person where they're not like exposing what they're feeling, because the crab can be very protective. And then the other part with Mars and Cancer, sometimes wants to shut down or lash out emotionally, react like protectively, and feeling frustrated as you think that the other one is not being truthful with their feelings, and the tension is brewing under the surface. So to better move through this energy is to find a healthy outlet, whether it's working out or journaling or just acknowledging that the tension is there instead of trying to move through it, like, or look over it. And then ask ourselves a question: am I acting out because I feel unheard or unsafe? And lastly, give space, if it's needed, to both the Cancer and Libra, because they both need time to process. And the moon, with the quincunx over to Uranus in Taurus, is this Libra craves the peace and harmony and connection, wants to keep emotions balanced and diplomatic, and prefers the calmer approach, like beautiful surroundings. But then on the other hand, Uranus craves change and bringing change to what we value and own or rely on. And Uranus shakes up the comfort zones like money and relationships and routine. And it's about the unexpected. This full moon can be paired with the emotional zap or feeling disconnected for a few hours. It's like an inner emotional glitch, like sudden memories or a jolting conversation or a random aha moment. And all these things paired with an adjustment in relationship. Someone's behavior could be shocking or triggering you, and you might realize that you've been out of balance. With this full moon, we just need to acknowledge the awkwardness and let yourself feel a little bit off without needing to explain it or stay flexible to the small change in perspective or routine can ease the tension, and trying to try grounding techniques, like breath work or hiking in nature, listening to music, and just be with the energy, because it is a very awkward, weird kind of full moon. There are some very promising aspects, however, to this full moon, as the North Node in Pisces is trining over to Mars, and it has this moon trining over to Jupiter, with the full moon and the North Node in Pisces being activated, as well as closing an activated portal from the last 18-month cycle of eclipses. Mars is trining over to the North Node, Mercury, Saturn, Venus, and the North Node is calling us towards the spiritual growth, surrendering to creativity, compassion, and trusting in the unseen. And this is giving us the green light to act on our dreams and instincts in our inner callings. So you may find the strength to take steps in the direction that once felt vulnerable, like forgiving someone or opening your heart to uncertainty or leaving a situation that is draining. We might feel like we are in situations that are fated or a part of the bigger or soul journey. These encounters will likely feel nurturing, emotionally significant, or greatly challenging in the way that promotes growth. So we're being asked to trust in our instincts and act with compassion, and let our inner world guide our outer actions, and engage in activities that help you feel connected to spirit and others, and deepening within self. With the trine to Mercury, there is a flow of emotional expression, and which helps us speak from our soul and act from our heart. So we could feel more in tune with others emotionally, able to sense what people need to hear, and how to express our thoughts with empathy. Empathy will likely find ourself acting on our gut feelings, and they're probably led you in the right direction. Now is the time to not force or push anything, but move and flow with the universe. It is a good time to express deep feelings without conflict, where conversations are tender and vulnerable, and healing, leaving space for emotional honesty and understanding. Jupiter is also trining to soothe, and it's giving this a very expansive, lucky, positive energy, broadening our emotional horizons, learning new things, increasing our social status, making new connections, and deepening the bonds with our relationships, and having more of an optimistic view on life and opportunities for growth, and taking emotional rest, engaging in these new experiences. So there you have it, guys. We have some interesting aspects. We have Black Moon Lilith here, also blending, deepening our relationships, really seeing our shadow aspects and seeing these aspects getting in the way of our relationships, and healing these ego wounds and getting the ego out of our way so we can have successful relationships. This is a beautiful full moon. I have the birth of Venus behind me. I thought that this would be a good background to have as the full moon in Libra report. I will pick some tarot cards, and we'll close with that. Thank you for liking and sharing and subscribing to my videos. I appreciate that. Every comment I read, and I Love to see them. I feel like I'm not talking to myself. And also, if you're interested in learning about astrology or learning how to read your chart more proactively, I'm hosting a workshop, and I have the link below. It's meetup, and the workshop I believe is on the full moon or the new moon in Taurus on April 27th, and it is going to be online. So hop online. If you are a friend or you know me, why not come over and we'll make a party of it, an astrology learning party. Super excited about that workshop, getting back into those. And yeah, pretty much you're just going to learn how to read a chart, the basics of reading the chart. And then we're going to pull up your chart in the workshop and we're going to look through it and I'll give examples so you can learn how to predict your own stuff. Oh my God, we got the strength card. I love it. It's a Leo card. I'm not going to lie. I'm super juiced that I pulled this card, the strength. So it is a major arcana. So let's see what it's got to say. The strength card, the strength. Okay. Oh, I thought it'd be easier to find, guys. Oh, here it is. I soften into the cosmos. So this is about surrender and inner strength, alignment, and embracing obstacles. The quality of real strength is inside of you. You know that this type of power is never aggressive, but comes from a place of internal calm. Even in difficult situations, you are in alignment with your inherent compassion and the universal love that penetrates you. Continue to bow to higher states of consciousness and let them inform your actions. Lift others up by exemplifying them. No one has to put their powers on forceful display for them to be impactful. Furthermore, this card encourages you to approach any inner outer battles by softening into them. To loosen your grip takes courage, which you process. Rather than pushing against the winds of the world, let them move and reshape you. Surrender to the universe, for you are an essential grain in its intrinsic pattern. So, yeah, I mean, this is along the lines of the message of just letting go of ego and soften your grips and go with the flow. And it says, like, for a tip to practice this strength energy is relax in child's pose or any physical posture in which you feel you can surrender to your breath for some moments. So I love that. And then I will pick a scripture. The Lord loves the righteous. That's one. And let the beloved of the Lord rest secure in him. Okay, Deuteronomy 33:12, and the other one is Psalms 146:8. And I thought, oh, maybe I could pick a couple more. Couple more of these. I'll do oracles. So we'll do the Flower of Life oracle. Okay. Yeah, also I am making greeting cards. So for zodiacal birthdays, specific to the horoscope for their year. So if you would like to order one of those, please reach out to me. And then I'll know which zodiac sign to make. Right. Meditation of 4. Sit quietly and close your eyes. Breathe in for a count of 4. Breathe out for a count of 4 and pause for a count of 4. Repeat 4 times, then open your eyes. Do this 4 times a day, and within 4 days, you will start to feel lighter. The vibration of 4 invokes a feeling of retreat, order, and balance. Just like a square, all that is built upon it is evenly distributed. 4 inspires you to clean up your foundations, your beliefs, your fears, not by getting rid of them, but by creating something new. Focus upon what feels good, and all your negative vibrations will fall away from lack of attention, and your highest path magically reveals itself. Ooh, I love that. Ooh, that's a really good juice. I juice celery, pineapple, ginger, fennel, lime. Good stuff. And dream, something is revealed. Insight and breakthrough. This definitely looks like a Virgo. I mean, a Virgo, but a Libra card. We have the full moon in Libra, the feminine energy, this dream, because of all that stuff in Pisces. This might be the perfect message for this full moon. And it's card number 4, which we just talked about before with the meditation. You will soon break free from a situation that has been causing you concern. Something will be revealed either in a dream or through someone that you know and trust. The information you receive will give you an insight into something that has remained hidden from you for some time. This will be a big relief for you as you realize that your concerns and fears were unnecessary and unfounded. All is well that ends well. However, do not forget this episode, for it is the reoccurring theme with you. The next time that you are unsure of something, try to refrain from jumping to conclusions which are not based on fact. Also, pay attention to your dreams. Try to remember them as you wake up. With time, you will intuitively learn their symbolic language. This message had been floating around in your dream state for some time. The affirmation for this card is, I surrender my concerns and fears. All is revealed at the most perfect moment. All is well in my life. I choose trust over doubt. I remember my dreams and intuitively know their symbolic language. Oh my God, that's so good. Oh, I'm just so happy with my cards. I love them. Okay, guys, I'll see you on the next video. And I hope that this full moon in Libra brings the right relationships together and the commitments that we all desire. Love you. Peace out. Your Lucid Living Coach.